Okay, here we go. Good morning. I'm through my, whatever the hell that was that happened. Oh my God. You know what? I just looked at the, screen there and I'm looking pretty terrible. So I got the blue screen of death just as I was finishing up making my thumbnail for the show. And that was disheartening because, don't want that shit happening. And so here I am trying to figure out why I look so terrible. Why isn't that? I was supposed to be getting what the hell? That's not what I want. Anyway, happy Wednesday, hump day. Little reggae action for you. I'll figure out why I look like a ghost. And we'll get into it. I got some news about some elections around the country. Now, again, it's mostly primary elections, but there seems to be a trend happening. And maybe it could possibly be... Well, I'm wondering, is it just in Florida? Are we seeing it around the country that parents are kind of trying to take their schools back? So that's what we're going to figure out after we get back from the intro. Johnny, do the honors, please. Play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, Dawg Knight.
Yeah, the great gray one. Let me see if I can fix this. Holy crap, I look like shit. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as Casper the Friendly Ghost, and Dawg Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where sometimes you just looked really, really bad. What the hell happened when I got that screen of death, and that's it's looking like, okay, there. Oh, I'm starting to look more human. That's a little saturation, a little contrast, and a little brightness, and I look almost normal again. Look at that. I don't know if you can tell yet because I haven't quite, have I applied it yet? I don't know. Let's see how I look. Okay, that's better. Oh my God. Anyway, it's Wednesday, and yesterday was a round of primaries in a couple states, particularly in Florida. And I'm kind of... Okay, I'm hopeful because Florida used to be somewhat of a bellwether state. I mean, if things that happen in Florida, often the trend also happened in the United States. Oh, did this thing do this again? Hang on a second. Holy Christ. Yes, it did. It put this back down to 1280p, so I'm still fuzzy on here. Well, whatever. We'll deal with it. No, I don't want to exit while live or cancel that. All right. So the output's messed up too. But anyway, we'll just do it. Let me see what it looks like on YouTube. Just a second. I don't know why this bugs me so much, but every time I have a glitch on the damn computer, the whole thing goes to hell. Let's see what it looks like on here. Am I just all washed out and shit? Hang on. You're gonna hear me talk again until I hit the mute button. So the output's messed up. Okay, it's not that bad, but it bugs me, and that's just the way it is. Just the way it is. Some things will never change. Okay, so I haven't spent a lot of time talking about primaries, except for occasionally I'll mention something, but it's not the primaries in Florida that had me optimistic about parents and people in America and what direction perhaps the nation is going when it comes to some of the stupidity that's coming out of our schools. And because we had this whole time during the stupid 19 pandemic where parents got to start seeing what's happening in their schools, what their kids are being taught. Plus the TikTok thing kind of blew up, and so a lot of teachers were bragging about some of the BS that they were trying to teach your children. And looks fine, just color a little funky. Yeah, I'm still working on that. And so so then the parents started complaining in certain places of the country, which is good. I think parents need to do that. Let's add a little more color saturation. Let's see, there we go. There. Now what's going to happen though is tomorrow this is going to reset, and I'm still going to look weird, but I'll just deal with it for now. Anyway, the parents started revolting, right? Started going to school board meetings and getting called terrorists, and because the teachers who know best what's for your children, and because the teachers own your children, and you're not allowed to talk about what your children are allowed to be taught, you are becoming parents are being called terrorists. And so what transpired out of this, people started realizing, hey, regardless of what the Education Department of the United States government says, regardless of what the Department of Education in your particular state say, people started figuring out, hey, wait a minute, maybe, just maybe, and this is something that we should talk about more often, all politics is local, and if we want something done, we might have to go and run for some school boards. And so that's what some parents did. So we're going to take a look at Florida, what happened in Florida yesterday, because I think it gives me hope. Now, does it mean it's going to happen all over the country? I don't know. They have a governor who talks about this stuff a lot. And so I think maybe the fact that the Republicans, and not even just the Republicans, it's not just the Republicans who are concerned either. There are plenty of Democrats, plenty of people who are concerned about some of the crazy stuff that they're trying to teach your kids. So some of these parents said, you know what? Let's get rid of some of these school board members who are into all this woke shit. And Florida, well, I'm not even going to tell you. I'm going to wait till after I say good morning, because that's what the show's about. And I got a few articles, and then we'll just go down the line and see what's happening. We'll look at the news first, but I want to talk about parents in Florida and what happened there in the primaries yesterday. All right, let's say good morning to our friends in the chat. We got about 18. Not only was I late today, but then I have this blue screen nonsense. But I still am happy that many of you are here. So some people will be rolling in as soon as they get the notification. But first in the chat today, and the receiver of the Bell of Life would be Advocatus Diabli. Thank you, sir, for being here. I appreciate you very much. Also, good morning, Simon Wolfwood, Select a Boy. Yeah, boy. Lord Stanhope's in the house, Chicago Mike. Hello. Also, Mike Savage, Blarg, Tyrannus, Alexandrius, Invictus Soul. That'd be Tyre Alexander. Thank you for being here. Yo, Dawg Knight, Avocado. Oh, you're just saying hi to everybody. Also, good morning to Maddie, who is if you weren't here yesterday, Maddie is done with her treatments. Yay! Also, good morning to who else is here? Blackkeeper Israelite.
That's right.
Also, Hig. Oh, what's up? Good. Hig and Cindy are in the house. I'm assuming that means you both here. Also, good morning, Rachel Madhouse Dildo. Which I'm sure you're just excited to be named just before Rachel Madhouse Dildo. And let's see. Asian Research Director at Infamous One, Jesse Leon. Rachel, my friend from down under. Emmanuel Presley, what's up? And that looks like the whole crew. So, while you're thinking about it, if you're already here, go ahead and hit that like button now. Then you don't have to forget about it later. Share the stream before, during, and after the show. But if you're watching on the replay, put a comment in the comment section and sponsor the show at pdognight.live right there. If you go to pdognight.live, you can watch the show. You can participate in the chat. And if you have an inkling for something that absolutely must be told to the rest of the group right now, you just type it in and and drop a couple bucks and just drop a deuce in the tip jar. Well, not a deuce. It's one of I like saying that. It's a funny thing. Anyway, if you want to drop something in the tip jar, you will get a prioritized chat that will be read on the air by none other than yours truly, Dawg Knight. So we also take YouTube chats and Venmo, Cash App, and all that. That's all down there. You know how to do that stuff. But if you don't want to give 30% to Susan, Dawg Knight Not Live is the place to go for your prioritized chats. Thank you very much for sponsoring the show if you are able. And if you're not, I don't care. That's good. This show is always free. I just appreciate it because it'll help me make up for me and Lady Boomer's weeks off from COVID and stupid 19 all that shit. Anyway, all right, let's get into some of the news that's happening right now. We'll do the updates of the things that are trending, and then we'll get into a little bit of news. Then we'll get the hell out of here. Now, interesting little thing in now this particular publication cracks me up because apparently Rolling Stone has one of their exclusives, an exclusive from Rolling Stone magazine. And it's just, I got to tell you, when I think about American politics and insider information and people who are just, likely to get the best inside information on the Trump administration, the first place I think of is Rolling Stone magazine. I got to tell you. And apparently they have an exclusive. In Rolling Stone magazine, where they say that the Donald Trump has told his lawyers to get my quote unquote top secret documents back. Yes, Rolling Stone has an exclusive. The ex-president, and then of course Twitter is going to absolutely what's the word? They're going to project this out into the public. The ex-president is desperate to recover the classified trove taken from Mar-a-Lago and is pushing his legal team on a long-shot maneuver to return them. Oh, this is an exclusive to Rolling Stone magazine. Yes, Rolling Stone magazine, the greatest source of inside information on the Trump administration. Hilarious. The Trump. And then let's see, they have a thread here. He's desperate. Okay, he's desperate. If you really want to read the article, I'll link it, but I don't think I'm going to open it. Well, I opened it there for you guys, but I'll link it. But the thread says, 2 people familiar with the matter. Oh my goodness. 2 people familiar with the matter tell Rolling Stone yes. There's Rolling Stone has exclusive insider information on Donald Trump. 2 people familiar with the matter tell Rolling Stone that Trump has been demanding that his team find a way to recover all of the official documents that Trump has long referred to as mine. They're mine. Including the highly sensitive and top secret ones. The former president's legal team appears to be working to retrieve at least some of the papers seized during the August 8th federal search. Now look, we already know that they've sent this letter to the Justice Department or to the judge and saying that the documents that belong to him, the so-called privileged documents, communications between his advisors, the legal privilege items between him and his lawyers, and any personal documents that are in that trove, they're asking for them back and asking that the Justice Department stay out of it because they may be part of other information that is, privileged information to Donald John Trump, right? So I don't know what this exclusive is. It's like, and look, like I said, my speculation is that Trump has been trying to keep documents that prove shenanigans between some of the FBI stuff that went on with Russiagate and all that shit. So I'm assuming that's some of the information that they're talking about, and I'm sure the FBI doesn't want a lot of that information out in the ether, or at least with Trump, because Trump, might just, if they were declassified and published, it would embarrass the FBI. So I'm assuming that some of that information that he had in Mar-a-Lago had something to do with these, I'll say the long-time persecution of Donald John Trump by the FBI and some of the alphabet agencies. Anyway, Rolling Stone continues, sources close to Trump agree with legal experts that such sweeping legal maneuvers would be a long shot. Really? Sources close to Trump. So you have Rolling Stone magazine not only has two people familiar with the matter, but sources close to Trump to get their information from. Okay. I hate to break it to the former president, but I do not think he's going to get all the top secret document back, says one Trump advisor. Really? Were you there to hear that? Look, I have to laugh. I really have to laugh that Rolling Stone thinks they have a scoop here. But all they have to do is publish it and say they have a source, and everyone who hates Trump will take it as gospel. But anyway, further, several longtime Trump advisors say they want absolutely nothing to do with the now infamous boxes of documents. Several longtime Trump advisors. Well, they must be talking to a lot of Trump advisors. Several. Who would want any of that back? If it is what they say it is, keep them the hell away, one advisor said. Well, I'm not confident that Rolling Stone's exclusive is, the veracity of the information that they are publishing is suspect, to say the least. I'm just saying. Okay. Real quick. Thank you, Ty Alexander. You are the new Streamlab Superstar sponsor of the day and the first sponsor of the show today. Thank you, sir. And it's a reggae day, so we're going to do all reggae music for the sponsor music. Here we go. Thank you, Ty Alexander, for dropping a small bullet into the tip jar. He says, P-Dog, your pale complexion is because you aren't using your zombie cream. My competitor, this is too loud, isn't it? Here, let me turn this down. No, that's okay, isn't it? How's that music level? That's probably okay. It's like, okay. Because you aren't using zombie cream. I'm not using zombie cream. I ran out. I gotta check with which company is zombie cream. I can't remember. Anyway, my competitor at Ghoul Powder doesn't work well with melanated skin. Remember, zombie cream will keep the color in your skin. Ask Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ty Alexander, for sponsoring the show, and I will be picking up some zombie cream. All right. Oh, stop that music. There we go. All right. Thank you, Ty Alexander. Appreciate it. Okay, next thing. Oh, and if you want to read the Rolling Stone article, I don't know why in God's name you would, but oh no, I'm running out of free articles. You know what? Maybe I can find let me see. Let me see if I can do something for y'all here. Because if you really want to read that article, I want to make it possible for you. And it's very strongly possible that there may already be an archived version of that. And we're going to find out in about 30 seconds. Let's see here. Well, it says it's only number 4 in queue. Okay, well, it's possible you will have an article by the end of the show. By the way, all the articles and tweets and other shit that I read about and show you and video and whatever will be in a single link at the end of the show. I'll update that. It's in the second paragraph of the description down below, where it's called a one-tab link. I update that. You just click the link, and every single article will be listed with hyperlinks to it in the description after you click that link. So I update that during the outro every morning, and I wait till after the show because sometimes I open new links, and so I just want to be able to do it one time. So that should be good. All right, let me say good morning to a few more people who showed up. Jay Pylon's in the house. Good morning, sir. James Colley, woohoo! Happy Hump Day. Unless you're old, then it's risky hip happy time. Risky hip happy time. Wow, I resemble that remark. Anyway, moving on. Also, good morning, Jimmy Das. What's up, my brother? Good morning. Also, why are you so angry? He's in the house. And I think that's everybody. Did I get everybody? I'm close. If I missed you, I'll catch up eventually. All right, next. Now, the other thing that's kind of trending, it's not necessarily trending on Twitter, but it is a big topic of conversation on Twitter right now, is an article in the Wall Street Journal. Now, I first saw the Breitbart article, and then I actually pulled up the Wall Street Journal article. I have both for you. But anyway, there's a Wall Street Journal op-ed from yesterday that there was no legal basis for the Mar-a-Lago search warrant. Now, that's fascinating. It gets curiouser and curiouser. Jethro Hedo, good morning, by the way. The FBI raid on former President Donald Trump's private residence at Mar-a-Lago, Florida had, quote, no legal basis, end quote, according to the Wall Street Journal op-ed by former White House Department of Justice lawyers David B. Rivkin and Lee A. Casey. Now, I'm not sure who they are. In their op-ed, Rivkin and Casey argued that the Presidential Records Act of 1978 allowed Trump to have the records allegedly in his possession, and that the general statutes cited in the search warrant, such as the Espionage Act, do not override it. Well, rather than reading you here's the reason I gave you the Breitbart article is because they have the relevant clip here. But if you want to read the entire article, I do have the entire article archived right here. It'll be in the link down below, so you'll have that. But here's the clip that they felt was important about this article written by these two gentlemen. Good morning, Straight Sith Male. I see ya. What's up? The warrant authorized the FBI to seize, quote, all physical documents and records constituting evidence, contraband, fruits of crime, or other items illegally possessed in violation of 18 U.S.C. 793, 2071, or 11519, emphasis added. These three criminal statutes all address the possession and handling of materials that contain national security information, public records, or material relevant to an investigation, or other matters properly before a federal agency or the courts. So they tried to cast this wide net of BS, right? Those statutes are in general in their text and application. But Mr. Trump's documents are covered by a specific statute, the Presidential Records Act of 1978. It has long been the Supreme Court position, as stated in Morton versus Mancari, 1974, that where there is no clear intention otherwise, a specific statute will not be controlled or nullified by a general one, regardless of the priority of enactment. Now, so again, this is where they say something about generals. It said it right here. Oh, anyway, I'll keep going. The former president's rights under the Presidential Records Act trump any application of the laws the FBI warrant cites. The Presidential Records Act lays out detailed requirements for how the archivist is to administer the records, handle privilege claims, make the records public, and impose restrictions on access. Notably, it doesn't address the process by which a former president's records are physically to be turned over to the archivist, or set any deadline leaving this matter to be negotiated between the archivist and the former president. So what they're saying is, he can have these documents, and they can negotiate between the archives when he will turn them over, but there's no deadline set in the Presidential Records Act. So what's the FBI's rush, and why would the FBI be involved in a dispute between the Presidential Records Act and the former president? Now, the other part was, though, apparently the what is it? The so-called classified information. That could they be coming after that? Well, it's interesting. But anyway, President Trump's attorneys filed a motion money with the federal court in Florida that authorized the search warrant, asking him to appoint a special master. We talked about this special master thing. that implicate the attorney-client privilege or executive privilege. So what they do, they wanted they should have done this immediately. I mean, they did this 2 weeks late, and they could have already been going through all these records. But anyway, the point of this motion is they wanted to appoint a kind of a mediator, special master to, who would be a judge who would go through those documents, who's neutral to the action, and get out all of the, help determine what's has executive privilege, what has attorney-client privilege, what is privileged communication between he and his advisors, and have that entire, bank of information removed. So before the feds start, rummaging through it, and then, before that cat's out of the bag. They're kind of late on that, though. They should have done that like the very first day. Hello, Rick Ashbringer, by the way. Wait, what? How can anyone opine about the raid when none of us have seen the affidavit or been told what the President Trump had behind a locked door is told? Well, that's just it. Some of this is what his lawyers are trying to do is not allow some of that to get out because some of it's mostly privileged information. Anyway, they argued that the president's Fourth Amendment rights were violated, that the search warrant was so broad as to amount to a general search prohibited since the days of red-coated soldiers who provoked the Bill of Rights in the first place. Rifkin and Casey note that there is no provisions in the Presidential Records Act that would allow a search warrant to be executed against the president absent some other crime having been committed and possibly having reached a conviction in a court of law. Trump's attorneys likewise noting that there is no criminal enforcement mechanism or penalty in the Presidential Records Act speculated in their filing that the Department of Justice may have cited other statutes other than those dealing directly with presidential records to manufacture a basis to seek a search warrant. They argue that the Department of Justice may have sought a pretext to rummage for either politically helpful documents or for documents that might implicate Trump in the January 6th riot. Now, and of course, by going through Melania Trump's underwear drawers, that's definitely where they would have found any of that information. Thank goodness they got to go through her closets. And I'm sure some of those FBI agents tried on a few dresses while they were at it. Anyway, good morning, Brett Hayes. Good morning, Reaction de Puerto Rico. And my friend, nice to see you guys. So anyway, U.S. Magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhardt has given the DOJ until Thursday to indicate what redactions it would like him to allow on the affidavit that was filed to support the warrant. He reiterated Monday that he will not allow it to remain wholly sealed. So the judge is allowing that affidavit to be I'm going to say made public, except for the redactions that the Department of Justice is requesting. That should happen tomorrow. So we'll be getting some action on this information tomorrow. But like I said, if you want to read the actual Wall Street Journal article, it is this article here. The Trump warrant had no legal basis. Former president's rights under the Presidential Records Act. Trumps the statute, no pun intended, trumps the statutes the FBI decided to justify Mar-a-Lago raid. Okay, here's a question for you, and I'm gonna put a poll up. Just on the question of this warrant, do you think the judges okay, I'm not going to make a poll of this. If you put a 1 in the chat, if you think that somehow whatever this judge does on the releasing of what am I trying to say here? On the affidavits, whatever the judge decides on these affidavits and the redactions, do you think that it will go beyond this judge to an appellate level? so the judge says he's going to release the affidavits, but there's going to be redactions, right? But do you think anyone, either the government or the Trump people, are going to appeal his rulings? 1, yes. 2, no. I got a feeling that this is gonna get up, and my personal feeling is that it is going to go somehow. A lot of this is going to get into the appellate levels, no matter what, possibly pushing all the way to the Supreme Court. I'm just saying, it's crazy. It looks like most of you think that too. Also, good morning, Deco D. What's up? And Resolute Germ, nice to see you. So anyway, thank you, Ty Alexander. Oh, we have another sponsor there. Real quick, let's get some music for this sponsorship. Thank you, Ty Alexander. Sponsor the show again. Small bullet in the tip jar. Tyre says, when you cut out a man's tongue, you don't tell people he is wrong. You tell people you fear what he has to say. This is literally what they are doing to Trump. Trump is a bill. Oh, I'm pretty sure you mean I'm sure you mean bull. Trump is a bull in the china and a canary in the coal mine. They are afraid of him, and they know it. So, it's, you know what? Everything they're doing right now is a way for them to I agree, it's a way for them to try to silence Trump. It really is. So thank you, Tara Alexander, for sponsoring the show. Appreciate you, as always. You're a great American. All right, let's move on. Other things that are happening in the news that are just popped up as far as things trending. Apparently last night, Marjorie Taylor Greene was swatted. So swatted is trending. She said, I can't express enough gratitude to my local law enforcement here in Rome, Floyd County. More details to come. Now, she hasn't, she added to this. She hasn't added anything to this, looks like. People are saying, glad you're safe. Some says, I don't believe anything you say. Circling back, you beg for a presidential pardon because, did she beg for a presidential pardon? Is that just, I don't even believe that. It's 1 a.m. Turn off your end. Oh gosh, MTG lies all the time. So this is probably a lie too. You know, don't know. Let's see. Breaking report. Georgia Margie. Let's see. This is how evil Democrat supporters are. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene was swatted this morning, which can result in someone being killed, as it has before. They need to find out who did this and punish them to the fullest extent of the law. Never do this to anyone. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this happened. It seems to be the reason why it's trending. New York Post wrote an article on it. But I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if they have any details, because that's the thing that you can say you're swatted, but okay, tell me. Tell me why. Yeah, pardon for what? That's what I'm saying. This is funny. Now, this is weird. The New York Post would do this, okay? The New York Post, Callie Peterson and Ben Kesslin, I always am fascinated when they will put a adjective to a particular representative. And here in this article, this starts out, far-right Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene said she was swatted early Wednesday morning. I can't express the gratitude of my local office. Yeah, we read the tweet already. Greene said Wednesday morning that more details on the prank are forthcoming. Right now, Congressman Greene, safety is our number one concern. A spokesman for the Congresswoman told the Post. Late last night, she was a victim of a political attack on her family home. Whoever committed this violent crime will face the full extent of the law. Swatting is a dangerous prank where someone calls a false threat to authorities saying they need to get to the intended target's home right away. Police tend to arrive with heavily armed response or a SWAT team. The prank has even led to fatalities. So they gave some. There's a link there. It doesn't look like there's any other details other than her tweet. But there, the lefties are either saying that she's lying, or they're cheering. So this T-Pain USA is a heavily followed 793,000 followers. Now this is someone who basically grew their following during the Trump era being anti-Trump. There's several like anti-Trump grifters on Twitter, and this is one of them. $10 says she swatted herself. Oh, yeah, I'm sure that she put her family in danger. Another one, proud to be woke. I'd put money on it. MTG swatted her own house just to gain attention and sympathy for herself. She has Munchausen vibes. Really? When you say she was swatted at 1 a.m., Tuck Frump. Gee, that's original. Marjorie Taylor Greene claims she was swatted. Doesn't say what law enforcement was after. And this is that's because she got that off a Hill Reporter. But a lot of people saying she swatted herself. Anyway, I'll wait and see. This is one of those, I'm more than willing to, I'm far more than willing to do a 5-day rule on this and see what actually comes out. We'll get more details later. So anyway, that's trending. Let's see what else. Also Independence Day is trending. Now, obviously, it's not the United States Independence Day, but everyone's reporting on Independence Day in, guess, Ukraine. Yes, it's Independence Day in Ukraine. Ukraine is a nation reborn in conflict with a renewed sense of identity and now wholly separated from Russia. President Vladimir Zelensky said in a defiant speech in the nation's Independence Day. That's the New York Times description. And oh boy, all the little blue and yellow flags are out, wishing my friends in Ukraine and around the world an uplifting Independence Day. Well, wait a minute. What? Around the world? It's not Independence Day around the world. It's Ukraine's Independence Day. I'm just not, just don't give a fuck. Ukrainian warriors at the front line in Adivivka, Donetsk region launched a giant Ukrainian flag into the sky in the direction of the Russian-occupied Donetsk. That's how they are celebrating Ukraine Independence Day. Video from Andriy Slapinenko. Anyway, so they tied a bunch of balloons to a Ukrainian flag and flew it proudly. And you know what? I'm all for the Ukrainians in what is it? Celebrating their independence, whatever. Doesn't mean I'm gonna support either side in this war, because the more you pay attention to this, you realize it seems like everybody's shitbags in this war. So I don't care. But Joe Biden, of course, being very heavily invested in Ukraine, or at least his son is, and 10% for the big guy. He put out a statement. Today, I congratulate the people of Ukraine on their Independence Day. The Ukrainian people have inspired the world with their courage and dedication to freedom. Unless you're part of a opposing political party in Ukraine, we are committed to continuing to support them as they defend their sovereignty and their democracy. There's a lot of people around the world like, it's not just us, not just a few people around here. There are a lot of people around the world who are like, just quietly saying, fuck Ukraine. But anyway, I'm not one of them. I am neutral in that war because I believe everybody in it are shitbags. But there are people who don't believe that way. Anyway, so happy Independence Day for our Ukrainian friends. All right, moving on. Also trending. Let's see. What is this one? This is, I'm running out of time already. Holy shit. Good thing I only have a couple stories to go through. Oh my goodness. Castration was trending this morning. Now that's weird. Why was Castration. Trending. I don't like the sound of that. But apparently people are talking about castration as a... experts say castration is no cure for pedophilia. Texas lawmakers made voluntary castration available for sex offenders in 1997. That's an article in Cron, whatever that is. I think most people are talking about, do want trans people to hate our bodies or not? They endlessly tell us that surgeries are mutilation and hormone drugs are castration. Oh, God, there's some... Hang on a second. I might have to... I don't know what the hell that was. I should probably be concerned about any topic like this before I... Okay, yeah, good thing I hope... Did anyone see that? I hope not. I'm going to have to cut that out. The cure for pedophilia is a millstone in deep water. Yeah, that's probably true. What up, T-Ball? How you doing? Let's see. Fox News spread additional misinformation about the clinic injecting transphobia into the controversy. Their guest, Ryan Heath, who flew to the rally from Arizona, made sensational claims about adults pressuring students into transitioning or forcing chemical castration. Okay, so I think what they're probably talking about is, you know how puberty blockers, the drug that they use for that is one in which that they use the same drug they use for chemical castration of sex offenders. And so this topic comes up because puberty blockers used as well, the thing is they're not okay. That's a kind of an off-brand use. Puberty blockers actually do well, they stymie growth. They stymie. They basically they're not. They keep saying they're reversible. They're not. They're not. They're reverse. They're only when you use them for early onset puberty, and then you come off them at the normal time that most kids would get puberty. But if you start them late, deep into puberty, and so that a child never goes through puberty, that does cause a form of chemical castration. So that's a big topic right now. That's probably why it's trending. Unfortunately, when you go through this hashtag, there is a certain amount of porn in here, so I can't put it on the screen. And so we'll skip that. And then finally, another thing that's trending is Reich. You know, Reich, like the Third Reich. That's trending, but not because of that necessarily. Now, there is, although there is a Republican candidate, I believe, GOP Representative Mike Garcia compared the Biden administration to the Third Reich over the FBI's raid. So, saying that they were acting like, stormtroopers. Now, here's the problem. Republicans are not allowed to make comparisons to anything Nazi when it comes to the Biden administration. That's verboten! But if, for example, there's a riot in Portland and the president sends federal agents to go protect a federal building, then it's perfectly fine to describe what the president does as the Third Reich and calling them stormtroopers. So make sure you get there's a little bit of nuance there. You can't, if you're a Republican and you want to compare anything to, use that, you want to break Godwin's law. No, that is verboten. But if you are a Democrat and you want to compare anything to, Republicans to Nazis or, whatever, then that is, that's just fine. So just make sure you follow the rules and everyone will be great. The other thing, though, is that apparently Robert Reich has spoken some stupid shit this morning, and I wanted to show you that. Here it is. Robert Reich! Robert Reich, the little midget political advisor guy. I don't know if he's an economist, Berkeley professor, and I think he's a advisor to the whatchamacallit, the Obama administration. Anyway, Robert Reich had some words today where he said, just wondering if, quote, DeSantis, end quote, is now officially a synonym for fascist. And I'm thinking, hey, wait a minute. Your name is Robert Reich. And I think maybe you should just shut the fuck up. All right. Point made. In fact, that's what Natalie F. Danielson, she's a chess chick, says the guy whose last name is Reich. So, yeah, if your name is Reich, maybe just shut the fuck up. I don't know. Anyway, but he's a Democrat, so he's allowed to break Godwin's law. He can call Ron DeSantis a fascist, and there you go. Who is Godwin? I don't know who Godwin is, but the Godwin's law is if you're in an argument and you are the first one to bring up anything to do with Hitler, you immediately lose the argument. So, anyway. That's unfair. The Third Reich accomplished some shit. Oh, yeah, I think they built some trains and shit, but, fuck them. All right, now let's talk about some school board elections, which is the main topic of the show today, and then we're going to move on. We're going to end the show because I'm going to go through these 3 articles. And what's this one over here, though? I have another one. Anyway, in Florida, I find this heartening. Not disheartening, but heartening. As in, it makes me happy. Leftists crushed in school boards across Florida. Yes, that's a good thing. Florida flipped multiple major school boards from liberal to conservative Tuesday evening, continuing a nationwide trend of parents taking back control of public schools. Florida school board elections have been a major political battleground this cycle, with big names like Governor Ron DeSantis, Republican, and Representative Byron Donalds, Republican, making endorsements and joining the campaign trail. If you don't know who Byron Donalds is, he's an up-and-coming Republican that is a cool dude. Anyway, while primary elections occurred in Florida, New York, and Oklahoma Tuesday, Florida has general elections for school boards, meaning the winners will be the official members of the board. Many of the winning candidates have been endorsed by the 1776 Project PAC, an organization that has been instrumental in flipping school boards from liberal to conservative across the country. We saw massive election victories all throughout the state of Florida tonight. 1776 Project PAC founder Ryan Gadursky told Breitbart News Tuesday, it shows the desire of parents and residents across the country for some normalcy in our education system. And that means pushing against transgender ideology, critical race theory, critical gender ideology, and equity. If you hear the word equity, what should you do, class? Run. Which destroys merit in education. So in Sarasota County, the Sarasota County School Board flipped from 3-2 leftist majority to a 4-1 conservative majority. All 3 conservative candidates, Bridget Ziegler, Robin Marinelli, and Timothy Enos, won their elections to flip the board. All right. That's good. In Clay County School Board now has a 3-2 conservative majority after 3 conservative candidates won their election. So think about this. They're now 3-2 because 3 conservative candidates won. What were they before 3 conservative candidates won? They now have a 3-2 conservative majority. 3 conservative candidates. Well. Just guess what they were before. Anyway, Aaron Skipper, Michelle Hansen, and Ashley Gilhusen won their seats, all of whom were endorsed by the 1776 Project PAC. The school board has been the subject of much controversy, with recent testimonies from Father Wendell Perez telling the Florida Surgeon General that Clay County Public Schools secretly started. Oh, yeah, this is the one. Yeah, this is the guy they transitioned his daughter, 12 years old, without his knowledge. Here's the video. Let's watch this video.
In January of 2022, I went to my daughter's elementary school to deal with a very sensitive incident. Suicide by hanging in one of the school bathrooms. My wife and I were told that by the school counselor that it happened because of an ongoing issue with her gender identity. We were in shock because our daughter never showed any signs of questioning her biological sex. We were told that they knew about the gender issue due to meetings they were having with our daughter behind our backs. We learned that during these meetings, our daughter's confusion was affirmed and validated through the use of fictitious male names and male pronouns. Our daughter was living a double life without our consent or knowledge. She was affirmed and socially transitioned in school. Due to the nature of the incident, our daughter was Baker acted and taken away from us with minimal contact for over a week until she was released under our care. As a family, we had to pick up the pieces, clean up the mess, and start a period of painful healing. However, we decided as parents from the beginning that we were not going to affirm the dysphoria. We were not going to validate a delusion, contrary to the recommendation from some professionals in the field.
Professionals.
We provided,
Professionals.
actually, we did provide unconditional support with proper mental health care and non-affirming therapy to our daughter. Underlying disorders like depression and anxiety were properly treated. We removed her from the school environment and placed her in homebound. We brought her back from her confusion. She is steadfast and sure of her gender, and the suicidal ideation is gone. This semester,
She had already tried to commit
she's ready to
suicide
go
too.
back to the brick and mortar school setting. In summary, our daughter was suicidal when she was being affirmed. However, when she was brought back from that state of confusion, the suicidal ideation disappeared completely. Therefore, my daughter's case disproves the current narrative that the lives of children with gender dysphoria are in jeopardy if they do not get affirmed. If you validate one delusion, then what is next?
So anyway, that was a case that happened in Clay County, Florida. So in Duval County and in Jacksonville, Duval County School Board, which also encompasses the city of Jacksonville, also flipped conservative Tuesday evening. DeSantis-backed candidates Charlotte Joyce and April Carney won their seats. Joyce was reelected and Carney defeated incumbent Elizabeth Anderson. Both candidates are also endorsed by the 1776 Project. And then finally in Miami and Dade County, the Miami-Dade School Board was flipped conservative Tuesday, making it the largest school district in the country with a conservative majority board. Robert Alonzo and Monica Colucci won their elections, both of whom were endorsed by the 1776 PAC. But counties all over Florida. Martin County flipped. Many other school boards were up for grabs in Florida on Tuesday. Governor DeSantis made a campaign trail blitz to multiple school boards in the days leading up to Election Day. So it looks like they were flipping seats in several counties, with a surge of concerned parents due to revelations about the critical race theory, gender ideology, and equity proliferating in K through 12 schools. School boards across the country are flipping to conservative control. So that's good news, right? All right, and let's move on. In New York City, since we're sticking with school news, apparently there's these school stories are cracking me up a little bit. In a New York City prep school, parents are livid over a woke librarian suspended from Twitter for hate speech. Parents in Manhattan's Tony Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School, they are up in arms over the elementary school librarian who was suspended from Twitter briefly this month for having tweeted, quote, "Burn white straight male librarianship to the ground," end quote. Ingrid Conley Abrams, 43, wrote the tweet in 2015, but was apparently suspended for it recently after the message was deemed hate speech. One mother at the $59,000 a year per year school said she has been concerned about the outspoken philosophies of Conley Abrams, who has also frequently comes into classrooms to teach, according to 3 mothers who spoke to the Post for several years. So she got suspended. How can I feel comfortable sending my white 9-year-old son into her classroom or library? A mother said. What if my son wants to be a librarian? How safe and nurtured are my kids going to be by this person? If a student posted that they wanted to burn down or shoot up a library, would they be expelled? The mother continued. In addition, she's claiming that gender is fake, and she tweeted that she wants to keep students from matriculating in the Ivy League. Are parents aware of this, and what do they pay? What are they paying almost $60,000 a year for? Because these parents are trying to get their kids a head start and maybe into Ivy League schools. Sadly, the students at my school only go on to Ivy League colleges, so I've truly failed them with my queer, freewheeling, godless, radical hotbed of a library. Conley Adams tweeted in 2020. Why do they always have this? It's always the hair and the glasses. I mean, they're not exactly the same, but the goofy hair and they got some special glasses. That's like a uniform. But they're unique. They're all so individualistic and unique, but they all wear the glasses. Anyway, her Twitter bio includes the phrase "gender is fake." The librarian, who has tweeted both about being non-binary and I am not a woman, has also tweeted about husband Timothy Conley, whose LinkedIn indicates that he's a librarian himself at Manhattan College in Queens. So maybe, you know what? I got a theory. Maybe when she wrote that thing about burning white male librarians, what is it she said? She said, burn white straight male librarianship to the ground. Maybe she was just having an argument with her husband, because he's a white male librarian. Well, I guess I shouldn't assume he's a white male, but, it's a liberal white woman, so I should probably assume that. Anyway, let's see. Oh, this is interesting. So, let's see. Her account, after the account was restated, Conley Adams tweeted on August 15th, "White cishet male librarians, I'm sorry. You did it. You made the bad one go away, but I'm back and love white guy librarians more than ever. Thanks for everything you do." Another mother said Conley Adams first showed up on her radar when parents at Columbia heard about a school panel called Talking to Children About Anatomy, Gender, Sexuality, Puberty, and Pregnancy for pre-kindergarten and kindergarten and first grade students in 2021. So there. Okay, let me just reiterate what the panel was. Talking to children about anatomy, gender, sexuality, puberty, and pregnancy for pre-kindergarten, kindergarten, and first grade students. Why? Maybe anatomy. That's about it. Anyway, that's her. This is her Twitter head here. Ingrid was introduced as a gender expert on the panel, which was weird enough to begin with, but is typical of what's going down at New York City private schools, said the second mother. Why is a librarian also a gender expert? And why is there a panel about talking about gender and sex and pregnancy to 4- and 5-year-olds? That's my question! Conley Abrams did not respond to an email from the Post, but immediately took the Twitter account private, of course, because she's about to be exposed. The school's headmaster, William Donahue, also did not respond to the Post because he's embarrassed. It is really difficult for parents, one mother at Columbia told the Post. They don't want any of this shit. I'm embellishing. They want a school aligned with their family values. But if you speak up about this publicly, your kid is likely to get kicked out of school and you and your husband could lose your job. It's not fair. Yeah, it's, Talk about that guy with the funny mustache and his ways, but boy, oh boy, and do not speak badly of the new religion, or you shall be burned at the stake and lose all your possessions, and you will have to move far, far away. A third mother who spoke to the Post said her child's experience at Abrams Conley was that the library was forever pushing trendy, woke books about gender identity. Ah, shocker! Feels good to be yourself, or Ibrahim Kendi's Stamped for Kids Racism and Anti-Racism in You. Oh my God. People like Ingrid in the schools are so self-important, she said. They think their way is the only way. She believes she's more important than the parents. This is what I believe, and this is what the kids in my classroom are going to believe, and that's the end of it. There is no questioning of it, no debate. It's terrifying. In May 2021, Columbia parents tipped off the Post about a workshop called Pornography Literacy, an intersectional focus on mainstream porn, taught by Justine Ang Font, who was then a health educator at another elite prep school called Dalton. Anyway, so yeah, if you see the uniform, this is part of the uniform. You got the unnatural colored hair and some hipster glasses. Sometimes they hide them in a different form, the natural colored hair and somewhat other hipster glasses, that that perhaps your children should be directed to stay away from that human being at all costs. And if it's their teacher, pull them out of the school. All right. Let's see. Where's one other thing? Oh, this is just Wisconsin School Board votes to ban Pride BLM flags from classrooms. I'm sure that they're taking a beating. All right, I think that's it, gang. I have one other article here. What did I open up here? Let's see. Let me check real quick. Let's get rid of Ace. Oh, and then, but it's Woke Wednesday. I have one more woke story. Woke school story, in fact. Apparently, in another Wisconsin school, they have done a slight curriculum change, and I'm sure you'll appreciate it. Dark day for Wisconsin students. Wisconsin School Board passes curriculum that calls girls a person with a vulva. Oh, hello, Maniac Man. Nice to see you. And I think an infamous one was already here. A person with a vulva. Yes, that's what they're going to call your daughters. I'm sorry, your children who possess vulvas. A Wisconsin School Board approved a sexual education curriculum which instructs educators to refer to females as a person with a vulva, according to Fox 6 on Monday. With the Wauwatosa. Oh no! That's near Milwaukee. The Wauwatosa School Board in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, approved the Human Growth and Development Curriculum Tuesday on a 6-1 vote. Now, imagine you're in one of those Florida school districts that just had elections. Would this ever happen in your Florida school district? I got a feeling the parents might be joining. I think you might get some parents running for school board. Anyway, a 6-1 vote. After proposing the curriculum on August 8th, according to Fox 6, the approved K-12 curriculum, K-12, tells educators to refer to girls as, quote, a person with a vulva, end quote, when teaching anatomy to 6th graders in order to remain inclusive. This is a dark day for Wisconsin students who will be taught a curriculum that reduces them down to their body parts. Alexandra Schweitzer, president of No Left Turn in Education Wisconsin, told the Daily Caller News Foundation, no teacher should refer to their female students as students who will menstruate or to their male students as penis owners. This is wholly inappropriate use of classroom time that ought to be spent on education fundamentals. Parents were sent a letter from the school district detailing the curriculum on August 3rd. The district community had until August 17th to provide feedback on the curriculum to the school board through a Google forum. A 6th grade lesson plan tells teachers to call women a person with a vulva. The students are taught how their family and peers may influence their attitude towards gender identity and gender expression. Quote, after a robust discussion and thoughtful deliberation, the Board of Education approved this curriculum. The lessons, including learning targets, standards, and resources, are available on our website and will continue to be made available to the public, the district school shared in a statement to the Daily Caller News Foundation. Well, let's see. Let's check out this curriculum. That'll be on the next page. The curriculum has recommended reading for kindergartners such as Not All Princesses Dress in Pink, a children's book about how girls can jump in mud and puddles and climb trees and don't always have to like girl activities. Oh, but I bet you if a young boy decides to dress in pink or doesn't want to jump in mud puddles and climb trees, I bet they will call them a girl. Or, well, they can't call them a person with a vulva. But anyway, educators are also instructed to read to kindergartners Sparkle Boy. Oh, my God. Hang on. We're going to link these two if I can. I'm in pain here just saying this. Sparkle Boy, a story about a young boy who prefers to dress and act like a girl. Ah, Sparkle Boy. Yes, that is very important that we have Sparkle Girl or Sparkle Boy. Excuse me. Is that wrong? Is this? Oh, they got links to the books. I got it. Okay. Anyway, actually, so when they show you a book called Not All Girls Wear Pink, are they saying it's okay to be? You don't have to wear pink if you're a girl. It means you're still a girl, right? Right? And Sparkle Boy, who prefers to dress and act like a girl, but he's still a boy, right? I hope that's the moral of the story. Anyway, 3rd grade students discuss gender identity, sexual orientation, and pronouns, according to the curriculum. So 9-year-olds are going to discuss gender identity and sexual orientation. I wonder how that'll go. Including teaching the students that gender identity is something you feel. Ah, yes. You might even feel like you're a boy, even if you have bodily parts that some people might tell you are girls' parts. The activity reads, you might even feel like you're a girl, even if you have body parts that some people might tell you are boy parts. And you might not feel like you're a boy or a girl, but you're a little bit of both. That's what they're telling 9-year-olds. It's important to avoid assuming that all of your students' gender identities will match their sexual anatomy, the lesson plan stated. Well, how do you know your student's sexual anatomy? That's something that I think maybe that's not for you to check out. But, modern teachers. The Wauwatosa School Board did not immediately respond to the Daily Caller News Foundation's request for comments. So anyway, here's their curriculum. Oh, good God. You know what? I'm just going to leave the link here. I don't have time to go through it. Oh, let's see. What are these by grade? No, that's lesson 3. Oh, no, this is human growth and development. What year? This doesn't tell you when these start. It just gives you lesson numbers. Well, this must be the 6th grade. Nope, Sparkle Boy. This must be 3rd grade. Anyway, not all princesses were just... Anyway, I'm going to leave the links in the tabs, but I got to call it a day because I might have to go put in my petition to run for the school board. I don't know. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all it's going to be today. That's all. That's all. All I can say is Good for, well, look, good for these Florida people running for school boards. If they want, look, politics, local, where you can have the biggest impact, probably your best chance to influence what happens in your own world, right? You can't always control what happens on a national level or even on a state level. But if you can get involved with your school board, involved with your school, even volunteering at schools, so you know what's going on, watch what your kids are being taught, pay attention what they bring home, make sure you go to their conferences. If you really want to make sure you shape your own kids, I'm 100% an advocate for parents raising their own kids if they have that opportunity, or not if they have the opportunity. You got to make the opportunity to raise your own kids. That was one of the most important things that Lady Boomer and I agreed on when we started dating. We talked about that. We said, we want to have kids. You want to have a couple kids. You want to make sure we raise them ourselves, and we're going to find a way to do it. If we had to rearrange our schedules to do it, that's what we did. And so, fortunately, our kids turned out great. And look, had they turned out different, we would still love them. But we're glad that we had the influence on our own children because we raised them ourselves. All right. That's it for today, people. Time to go. If you would be so kind, if you haven't done so already, hit the like button before you go. Share this stream before, during, after the show. Hit, if you're watching on replay, put a comment in the comment section so I know you dropped by. And if you'd be so kind, you could sponsor the show at pdognight.live 24 hours a day. The prioritized chats, the ones I read during the show, come from pdognight.live and YouTube Super Chats. And then there's also Venmo and Cash App if you want to sponsor the show. I'm eventually going to add, I haven't decided which particular platform I'm going to do it on. I can't decide if I'm going to try to do it on Locals or Patreon or what's the other one? There's another one. What's the one that a lot of people use? Subscribestar. I don't know. I'm gonna weigh the options. I do have a Locals channel that I don't use. I just put a marker on there. I kind of like their format, but I don't know how it works. So I got to learn how it works first. But anyway, but that if you want to do something monthly or something like that, like some people do, and then have some bonus content there, that's where I will. One of those places I will do it. But for now, I got to go. I thank you for being here. My name is Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great Wednesday.
Hey, this is Dawg Knight, and thank you for watching today on the Dawg Knight Channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm Dawg Knight, and I'm out of here.